All right. So this is unusual in that I say this and not somebody I know with that distinctive accent that he has. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this big, broad, wide world. Um, I am not Sajit Nair. I am King Bob. If you don't know me, I have a long history with Ace Quiz Whiz. I am the season 1 champion, and I am the season 2 runner up with my Jira Avengers partner, Rodney Nissen, who I hope is on there. And joining me is my distinctive co host. That would be Rob Heen. We're calling him Radio Rob just because of that silky smooth baritone voice. So, how are you doing this day, Rob?
Oh, I'm doing great, Bob. Really appreciate y'all having me. I am also not Sajid. I apologize to everyone who's hoping to see him, but instead you get the two Bobs. So, Joanna, that is absolutely correct. Sajid is also not Bob or Rob. So,
And so somebody is remarking about the size of our mics. I'm glad there we go. So, um, unfortunately, you are not here to listen to our voices, although you might be. You never know. You are here to play. Are you smarter than a Jira admin? And so we should probably get into that action right now. So we'll do that right here. And so those of you that are ready to play, and Brandon here says he's ready to win. Know that you can play along using your phone by scanning that QR code. You can also play on your desktop. Just go on to menti.com, and then when prompted, use code 63524680. And so that's going to be our the code that we'll use, and we're going to kind of move on and give you a little bit of the ground rules. So first things first, let's find a little bit of icebreaker preparation for you guys on there, please. Once you've logged into Menti and your phones, let's see where in this wonderful world are you? And so we've got representation from North America and Europe and Africa.
what's the dot in the Southern Ocean? Bottom left.
I suspect. Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody's got a boat there.
I'm impressed that someone's got internet out there and is able to dial in.
Well,
But I appreciate you doing this.
It's really amazing these days with SpaceX and Starlink, where you can get really good satellite internet. So it doesn't surprise me much these days. And so we've got some people also specifying where they're from. Let me see. I saw Buenos Aires. Thank you, Dresco. Croatia.
Oh, Hans. The dot of the ocean is me. I'm there in spirit.
And Boston. Brandon from Vietnam. I think I remember talking to Brandon. Tim Stencil from Dusseldorf. All right. And we've got a comment here from Ree on the Atlassian certification team. Basically, this session counts as a Atlassian community event, and as such, you can use the participation in this event to renew your active certifications.
And I really appreciate that, because I know I am always scrambling to get those education units, and I'm glad that we're able to help offer some of those. So Marie, thanks for reminding us. Nairobi,
Northern
I see another
Kentucky.
fellow Canadians. I love it.
All right. So now that we've gotten an idea of where everybody is, so this is truly an international competition, let's lay down what this is. So I will try and explain it the way Sajid does. What we're really here is for, as we've seen in previous Quiz Whizzes, this is for fun and glory. All right. This is a way for you to step up your Jira game. How good is your Jira knowledge? This is a good preparation. It's not the only preparation if you are studying for one of those Jira certifications, an ACA or an ACP. But the questions are of similar caliber, and the reason is that the questions are created by the Atlassian certification team themselves. Joanna has done a remarkable job with these questions. And also to help you, not only do we show you which answer is the correct answer, we'll also show you why it's the correct answer. We'll have a reasoning slide to help you understand what's going on. And then, you can't have a game without having prizes. So top 10, I believe, get and I think this is where Sajid in the audience is going to clarify. Top 10 get kudos on the online Atlassian community. Top 3 get certification vouchers. So you can get your certification. You can take your certification for free. The code again for Mentimeter, Carrie, is up at the top of the screen, 63524680. All right. Now that we know what it is, let's take a look and see what it isn't. Okay, what this is not. You should not use this as your only way of studying for an Atlassian certification exam. That's really, really poor preparation. So it can't be used as a shortcut. It is one of a number of aids to help. It's not a substitute for learning, and especially learning through hard knocks, right, Rob?
Yes, the best way I found to learn is, I joke, just beat your head into the keyboard. I say that jokingly, but getting hands-on and like pushing the keys and doing the work is by far the best way. This, Bob's point, is a fun little bit of sweetener right on the top for you.
Right. Also, this we are in no way going to help out in your performance review with your boss for this.
Although I was chatting with Bob about this earlier, if I went to my boss and said, I won, am I smarter than a Jira admin? I don't know what they'd say, because they don't know that I really do a lot in Jira. So definitely put the feather in your cap, but it probably is not going to help us at work too much.
That's true. That's true. And you're not known for the Jira. You're known more for the Confluence. I know it's like you and Andy.
Yeah. I tend to get on the Confluence side. I do have a Jira streak, so I'm glad I get to express that here a bit. But yeah, if I went to my boss with Jira, he'd kind of look at me sideways and go, huh?
All right. So if this show and this series is not a way to prepare for the certification exam, what are the ways of preparing for the certification exam? Rob, I'm going to let you have this slide, because there is something near and dear to your heart on one of these bullet points.
There is. And before I get there, I'm curious if anyone in the chat knows what Bob is talking about. So Atlassian has made it very easy to prepare for their certifications. They've got university.atlassian.com. Everything in there is free. And that is the source of all the information that we need. So if you haven't checked out that university, go check it out. I'm going through some of them right now. They're really well put together. And again, that is all the info you're going to need for these exams. That said, there's a lot of other great places. And what Bob was alluding to is this next one, our live learnings. So every month, some of us jump on. Alex Ortiz is doing some great stuff with Jira. We've got Valerie handling Atlassian Intelligence. I'm doing some stuff on Confluence. We've got a whole bunch of great live learning topics that walk through different aspects of Atlassian products. And as mentioned in the chat, those do count as those continuing education units, which I think you have to go into the Cert Metrics portal to get. There's also, of course, community. If you're not in the community, so community.atlassian.com, please go check it out. It's kind of next to and kind of part of the university, but lots of great, smart people in there. You can ask questions. Folks talk about their experiences with the products, and you can ask your own questions and get answers from people who are a lot smarter than I am. And that last one is in bold, and I briefly mentioned this, but please make sure you're going in and using Confluence or Jira or the products. You can get a free instance. It's got a couple of minor limitations, but you can get hands-on and you don't even have to pay for it, which is great. I also encourage folks, if your organization uses it, start getting involved, start talking to folks at your company who use the product or use it yourself. Like, nothing can replace that hands-on experience. And I'm getting something here in the chat. This just ties back to the folks who are, the top highest scores. There's apparently a Jira Genius badge, which I did not know about, which is pretty cool. Right. Thank you. It's right there. So if you're in the top 10 for the quiz game, you get a certification voucher, but also a Jira Genius badge, which I assume will show up in the community.
It'll show up in the online Atlassian community. I was mistaken, and I thank you for the correction, Sajid. It's not the top 3 that get certification vouchers. It is the top 10 that get certification vouchers, and those are worth up to $249. So that's pretty impressive there. But the top 3 get gift vouchers from Atlassian community, so gift cards. All right. So with that said, I think it's time we start exercising our brains. One thing to note, when you sign in, all right, and we're gonna flip to the slide that will allow you to sign in. Please either use your real name or some name that we can identify you, because that way, if you win, you can claim that. You can also claim that with a screenshot. Rodney N is asking if he can use a pseudonym if it's well known. Sure. For you, Jira Guy, absolutely. Unless everybody else starts calling themselves the Jira Guy, then you're in trouble.
I am a Jira Guy, but I will never be the Jira Guy.
That's true. We are all Jira guys and gals, but there is only one, the Jira Guy. Kind of like the Ohio State University.
Oh, no, let's not open that can of worms, Bob.
All right, here we go. So, time to check in. If you haven't done that yet, please use the QR code that is displayed on your phone, or join us on menti.com and using that number code 6352 4680. All right. And with that, let's get started. We've got 103 people ready for questions and answers.
Love it.
Okay. All right. Last chance. Get yourself warmed up. Do a quick stretch. And now we're going to come to the first question. Rob is handling all the odd ones, so I'm going to let him start, and I will finish up.
I am the odd one, Bob.
And here we go. So waiting, we've got 75 players ready. 76. Any more? 77. 8, 9. All right. And we begin.
What is a Jira issue? Answer A, a type of bug report. Answer B, a project management tool. C, an item of work within a project. Or D, a user's complaint. Again, what is a Jira issue? Oh, Nikki, if you can see on your screen top middle, it's menti.com, menti.com.
Okay, almost everybody's got it.
And well, someone called it out in chat. In this case, the correct answer was C. A Jira issue is an item of work within a project.
Yeah, the person that called it out is actually Joanna, who says that the answer is always C. And Rodney, our Jira guy, is giving an answer E. What is Jira's Alex?
And does it have to be
All
in the
right.
form of a question?
So quick reasoning. It's not a bug necessarily, although it originally ages ago, probably in the 1.0 era, it started out as bugs. B, although many people call individual issues Jiras, it's the tool name is Jira, right, Rob?
That's correct. The Jiras is the collective collection of all of it, but I wouldn't call an individual ticket a Jira necessarily. Again, our correct answer, Jira issues a task or a work item that's tracked. That can include bugs, as mentioned, but could be almost anything else. And user complaints could be an issue, but a complaint isn't an issue itself. Or every issue isn't a complaint, I should say.
All right. So let's get through to our second question. This time I'm going to read that. All right. 83 or 84 are ready. 85, 84. And here we go. Which of the following best describes an epic in Jira? A large user story that can be broken down into smaller tasks. B, a critical bug that needs immediate attention. C, a document repository. Or D, a report on team performance. Most everybody out of the 86 has got an answer. And they got the right answer. An epic is a large user story that can be broken down into smaller tasks. And so, bugs. So you can read the reasoning over there. If you got it wrong, why an epic is that big piece of work that can be split into smaller stories or tasks. All right. Moving on. Question number 3.
All right.
These are kind of the easy ones. These are these are the ones to get your brain warmed up. These are some stretches. All right. Getting our 84, 86, 87.
Got one more. Love it.
All right. And here we go.
And go. What does the watch feature in Jira allow you to do? A, assign the issue to yourself. B, receive notifications when the issue is updated. Or C, track the time spent on the issue. D, close the issue. Get out an optional E, like send issues to your watch, maybe.
It could be, send it to your watch. Tell the time. Tell the time when an issue is closed. And I think almost everybody's answered, and almost everybody got it right.
Yeah, this is that little eyeball we see on tickets, which I personally love to mash the W key to make it happen.
And Sajit is saying maybe we should have a Jira watch, just like we have an Apple Watch.
I'm going to say no because I already work enough. I don't want this strapped to my body.
I always have mine strapped to my body unless the battery runs out.
Yeah, true.
I'm too obsessed with closing the circle. So maybe one additional circle would be like closing some number of Jira issues. All right, let's see why it is receive notifications when the issue is updated.
So watching doesn't change the assignment. You'd have to go change the assignee. It does allow you to follow an issue and get updates. So that's what this feature does. You can also help other people watch, which is a fun thing that I tripped over one day. It doesn't track time, despite the name, and it doesn't give you permission to close an issue. So it's not a permission on the issue. It just gives you those notifications. Jira is strapped to our souls. Woo.
That's if we have that Jira watch on our Apple Watch.
Ah, fair.
And Joanna's coming up with the mapping. So,
but who do we equal then? If I'm not Sajid, who am I?
All right. So, how do we do on our little amuse-bouche, our little appetizer? Let's find out. Ooh.
Now,
whoa, and boom.
One thing to call out is the faster we're able to answer the question, the more points it's worth if you get it right.
Correct.
So that's why some of these scores are a little bit higher.
Right. Correct answers count, but also speed counts as well. All right. So, those of you in the crowd, how do you feel? Do you feel ready to is your brain all stretched? Are you ready to tackle the harder Jira questions?
Brain stretching.
Or have you gotten your cup of coffee yet?
I'm just running out of mine. Can we airlift some over? I'm seeing a lot of little thumbs up on the screen though.
All right. I think it's time to take it up a notch. Oh, Arlene was apparently misled.
We got to save one or two, Arlene, for later.
Right. We're gonna start taking it up a notch. All right. All right, here we go. Question number 4. 86. Any more?
Can we beat 87?
Going once, going twice.
Alex does not take tests.
It is true, Alex. Alex has severe test anxiety. Which task can a Jira Cloud administrator perform? A, grant Jira admin privileges to another user. B, grant org admin privileges to another user. C, add another Jira admin to a project role. Or D, add another Jira admin to a group. So, interesting thing here, giving you a question about the different levels of admins.
And not all admins are created equal.
Not all admins are created equal. That's true.
Which, when I was learning Jira, I didn't realize that.
And Sajid is now supplying additional ones. E, dis, or T's the Jira Server Administrator.
Sajid, is that a task or a privilege?
That's
or something.
That is true. I mean, you know. Okay. All right. Our answer is C. Add another Jira admin to a project role. Let's find out why. So a lot of these have to do with the type of admin that you are and the distinction between an organization admin and a product admin, which is what a Jira admin would be. So only org admins can do A, granting or removing product access. And only org admins can do B, which is granting org admin privileges, as well as D, managing groups. So of those, only a Jira admin or product admin can add anyone to a project role inside of Jira.
Also, I'm going to call out the people adding additional lettered answers. There were 2 Fs that time. So,
let's take a look at the a few F's. Yes, Joanna was right. It was C. And Funman Andy says create a new custom field. Lots of them.
Both create
G,
custom field.
create a new due date field because what's one more? All right. So now we're properly calibrated at the level of difficulty of these. Next one, we will let Rob read.
Question
86.
5. Oh, sorry.
Ready to go. And here we go.
What can be impacted when you rename an issue type? A, custom field contexts. B, save filters. C, issue type schemes. Or D, workflow schemes.
Have you ever renamed an issue type? You ever had to do that?
Yes. My Jira admin got very angry with me. I also deleted one once. That made him very angry.
Deleting would definitely provoke some anger there. So
yes,
not to the level as Alex Ortiz likes to call them, fireable offenses, but you know.
Oh no, I have many angry slacks, many expletive-ridden angry slacks.
All right, so somebody got the right answer from experience.
That is a great call out. That's one great way to learn. We tend to remember the things that hurt.
Okay, here we go. So what is impacted?
Our saved filters. It looks like most of us got it. Awesome. So some reasoning here. A, custom field contexts relate to the product and issue type. So renaming that issue type shouldn't affect the context. The context still applies. B is the correct answer. Those save filters that use that name, and the queries under them can break when you change the issue type name. Right now, Jira isn't smart enough to go and update those things. I've had folks at work trip over this, and they get very frustrated, and then I just show them the fix. But your save filters will all break. Answer C, issue type schemes, are connected to the project, and they're based on IDs, not the name of the issue type. So that ID doesn't change when we rename it. So what we see as humans isn't the same thing as what the system uses. And workflow schemes connect workflows to issue types, again, by an ID, not by the name of the issue type. So it's something that we as humans don't see that Jira does in the back end. And I think I saw some comments saying, why doesn't it also work in JQL queries? But again, it will break our save filters, B.
All right.
Oh, what did I say, Sajid?
All right. Next question. On to me, and here we go. What cannot be migrated from one Jira Cloud site to another? A, automation rules. B, custom fields. C, attachments. Or D, deleted issues.
So I guess when we do migrate, Bob, does someone at Atlassian have to go pick up a server and move it somewhere else and put it down?
Hopefully not, because it seems to be a little bit easier than that. I've performed a few migrations, and sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. So Rodney left his heart in one Jira Cloud site. So I would hope it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But you never know. Sometimes it seems like that. All right. It looks like most people got it correct. The answer is D, deleted issues. Let's find out why. So you can import and export automation rules, as well as custom fields and attachments. But once the issues are deleted, they're permanently removed and they cannot be recovered or migrated. unless you have a backup lying there somewhere. So if they've been removed without benefit of backup and restore, that they're not in the system anymore, and so they're not included in any sort of migration. And Kathleen,
Oh
just a
no.
little too quick on the trigger, but but let's see if you can make it up. It's still early in the game. All right. Moving on to the next question. Are you ready, Rob?
Oh, I'm
you
always
ready,
ready, Bob. Thank you.
everybody?
Got a couple of ghosts in there and a pufferfish. Okay, what do we got? Sandy wants to move one of her assigned issues from the backlog to a planned sprint. What permission does she need? A. Manage sprints. B. Move issues. C. Assignable user. Or D. Edit issues.
This is definitely a certification caliber type question. I remember seeing a lot of these type of questions as I sat there sweating in the testing center.
Yeah, the nice little almost like mini word problems, little scenario.
Yep. And the Jira guy brings up a good point. You're doing this on a little bit of a tighter clock. And Rodney's offering one more.
Nope. E. View project. I'm org.
All right.
Looks like this one was a bit tricky. Correct
It
answer
is a bit tricky.
Yeah, D. Edit issues. No worries, Paolo.
It's time to find out why.
Yeah, let's take a look at that reasoning. So A, the manage sprint permission is around the sprint itself. So creating, starting, completing, and reopening sprints, not necessarily moving issues in or out of them. In this case, answer B is incorrect because she has to rank issues, not move them around. Answer C, also incorrect. Assignable user isn't needed to rank issues. Excuse me. And she already has it since she has assigned issues. So that leaves answer D. In order to rank issues, users have to be able to edit issues and the schedule issues and browse projects permissions. So again, it's about where the ticket is or the issue is in the rank list, and that's based on edit. Manage, sprint, and edit issue is tricky.
It is a very, very tricky distinction between managing and then Funman Andy has his own answer. All right. Let's see what we can do. All right.
83.
Okay, I think. What must you do so users can log time spent in a company managed project? A, grant them a global permission. B, grant them a project permission. C, enable time tracking in system settings. D, add the time tracking fields to the workflow. Oh, so there's a little bit of a trick here. There's talk about permissions, there's talk about fields.
You know, Bob, I've got a good E, which is convince people to actually log time.
Send out the send out the email notification. Have you put in your time on your time card?
This one for me is always like pulling teeth, just the human element.
All right, let's see what we got. Granting them a project permission. All right. And let's find out why, because, all right. So the first things first, you actually need the project, the work on issues project permission so that you can log time on issues. C is incorrect because by default, time tracking is enabled. And then D is incorrect because time tracking is not tied to a specific workflow transition or step. So it exists independently of fields. And these time tracking fields are independent of workflows, and they don't require conditions or validators. All right. So let's. Yeah.
Number 9. All right, team, we're just past the halfway point.
Yes, past the halfway point.
Ravi is only able to transition some of the issues displayed in a save filter via a bulk operation. Identify the root cause. A, post functions and triggers. B, conditions and permissions. C, columns and statuses. D, security levels and roles. So what is preventing the bulk movement of these issues in a save filter?
Yeah, there's definitely some good possible causes there. Some that I generally look at.
And that's actually a good call out, Bob. A lot of times, at least what I've seen in the certification exams, is you got to think through and eliminate or understand why one answer is better than another. Almost got everyone. A few more seconds, team. We can get there.
There we go. Conditions and permissions. Let's find out why.
Just going top to bottom. For A, workflow triggers and post functions should not be preventing the transitioning through the workflow. Answer B is correct. Workflow conditions that use permissions can prevent the transitioning of an issue. You also might run into problems where an issue is in a different project that doesn't have the same transition issue permission. So depending on what's in the filter, and this is what tricks me up when I think about this, not everything will be in one project. Answer C was incorrect. Statuses could be correct if they're protected by step properties, but columns are irrelevant when you do a bulk transition. So this one was a bit of maybe a trick answer, I'll say, but a good one. And answer D, roles could be correct if conditions use roles, but security levels aren't relevant here because you can see the issues. So again, C and D were a little bit of a red herring because it was partially correct, but not completely correct. Joanna, we don't want to trick you, but we won't need to make the wrong answers tempting. And that's what gets me most of the time. I just see the first bit, I go, oh, it's got to be that. And then, oops.
So one thing that is a big difference between this and an actual certification exam is that you will, in the certification exam, you will have opportunities for careful reading, as Joanna likes to put it.
I appreciate that correction, Joanna. Thank you. All word, please.
All right. Here we go. Is everyone there? 85. One more. Nope. Here we go. Which project setting can be updated by either a Jira admin or a project admin? A, the project key. B, the project type. C, the project category. Or D, the project name. So either a Jira admin or a project admin can change this.
My hiccup, Bob, is I'm almost never the Jira admin where I'm at, so I only know stuff from the project admin perspective. Ooh, a pro tip from Dresco. Look out for the not so wrong answer instead of the right one. Interesting.
Well, there is something to be said about process of elimination. That is a strategy I've employed on many a certification exam. Oh, here we go. And more than half of you got it right. It is D, project name. Let's find out why. Okay, so so it's not the project key because only Jira admins can update the project key. Not that doesn't have its own set of consequences. B, nobody can actually change the project type. It's once it's selected, it's there. The only way that you can get rid of it is to just delete the project itself and create the new project of the type that you want. And then C, editing the project category, you have to be a Jira admin. So that leaves D, project admins or Jira admins can modify the project name. Kathleen, when we say Jira admin, do we mean product admin? Yes, we do. So if you are looking at this from a Jira Cloud perspective, and you have an organization with products in that organization, we are talking about the product admins.
Oh, sometimes I miss server. Sometimes.
Yes. Server is still around, kind of, sort of.
If not supported. 84.
All right.
85. There we go.
And here we go.
You need to ensure that every issue created in a project always has an assignee. Which default assignee definitely meets that requirement? A, the component lead. B, the project lead. C, the component default assignee. Or D, the project default assignee.
Oh, yeah. So there's that word definitely in there. You're definitely going to see definitely on a certification exam question, just to make sure that you know that there is only one correct answer amongst a field of probables.
And I think it's the word definitely is even bolded here to really.
It is bolded.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell, but it is bolded.
I had to take off my glasses for a second. Don't know why a smudge would bold one word on a page, but you never know. Okay. Ooh, close one. The project lead.
One. The correct answer is project lead. And let's find out why it's project lead and not the project default assignee.
So our reasoning. Ooh, sorry, Bob.
So the reasoning is that default assignee can be set to the project lead or it can be set to unassigned. So if you so depending upon what default assignee is set to, if you leave it to unassigned, there's not going to be an assignee. So with a if you pick the project lead, it's mandatory. It's mandatory to pick the project lead, so you can always make sure that the issue is assigned to that user. So it's always going to be configured. You always have to configure it, right? It's not a component lead because if you don't select a component lead, the issue is going to stay unassigned. And then component default assignee can be assigned to unassigned or project default. So it's always possible that it could have, stayed unassigned. So it looks like they some answers. Ronnie got it right.
That's helpful.
Okay. And let's move on. Any additional people? 82.
83.
Oh, you want to disable subtasks globally in Jira. What must you do beforehand? A, remove subtasks from all issue type schemes. B, remove all unresolved subtasks. C, rename the subtask issue type. Or D, convert all subtasks to standard issue types. Sorry, I kind of took it from you, Rob, but you can have the next one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, what do you do with those pesky subtasks if you want to just get rid of them? You got to do something with those existing ones first.
Well, I don't know. I know a lot of folks have a love-hate relationship with subtasks. So
I could definitely see that.
$75. We got 2 more seconds.
Oh, look at that. Most everybody got it right. You have to convert those subtasks to standard issue types. All right, let's find out why. So you can't disable them if one or more of the subtasks have already been created. So that means you have to convert them to standard issue types before you disable. So it really is just a flat out conversion. Renaming doesn't help you, and resolving them shouldn't necessarily be the way of doing it. And then also, you don't have to update your issue type schemes.
Yeah, so make them not subtasks, then flip them off.
Yeah. So some sage advice for those people that are looking at this and studying from the Jira guy himself. This is different. We are actually counting time, but in a real certification exam situation, take your time. As Joanna mentioned, you have 3 hours for a certification exam. So that averages out to about 3 minutes per question. So plenty of time to go over the exams multiple times. I usually, when I take one of these Atlassian certification exams, I go through definitely about 3 times, 4 times up until I'm either pretty confident I've exceeded the minimum threshold, or or I just don't want to look at the any more of the questions. So this type of format's not conducive to reading carefully because there are prizes involved. But on the real certification exam situation, definitely take your time, read these things carefully, read them multiple times.
Yeah. Much different environment than a rapid fire quiz show.
Right. Okay. So.
All right.
All right.
We're ready to move on.
Ready to move on. You have the con for this next question.
Lucky number 13. Okay. 77. Oh, come on, folks. We need you. Can we hit 80?
Can we hit 80?
Ah! Yes.
Oh, right, here we go. Okay. And go.
Okay. Which issue type automatically inherits its security level from the parent without the use of an automation? A story. Answer B, a task. Answer C, a bug. Answer D, a subtask. Which issue type inherits its security level automatically without the use of an automation? I forget who told me the phrase auto magically, but I always see that when I see automatic now.
That was for me, that was a high school teacher.
Oh, awesome.
And some alternate answers that may or may not be correct, probably not correct.
The approval issue type, yes.
Joanna is saying that there are a lot of subtask questions here.
A little flurry of thumbs up. One more second.
And oh, there we go.
Yeah, the subtask. So let's figure out why. For A, B, and C, standard issue types, so issue, bug, epic, don't automatically inherit security levels. So that's just how the system happens to operate. Subtasks aren't I'll put this in quotes, standard issue type. So they automatically inherit the security level from their parent. So that's our reason.
Yep. All right. Just so that we keep on track, you got the next one, right? I think you have the next one.
This one's an even, Bob, so I think this one's up to you. I'm more than happy to take it, though.
Oh, well, I will take it then. All right. 82 anymore? Which Jira configurations do not ever impact notifications? A, gadgets. B, security levels. C, permission schemes. Or D, custom events.
I like the bold.
Which of these do not ever impact notifications?
The bold and the capital letters. I guess would we ever underline as well, just to really emphasize?
Double starred underlining. Bolded and underlined.
Joanna. And then have arrows like coming off the screen.
Flashing lights, flashing words. It would be like an early HTML nightmare. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And most everybody got it correct. Gadgets.
Sorry, Arlene, in cyberspace, no one can hear you read. In regular space, can people hear you read?
There are those people that, you can hear them as they're kind of go through and read. All right, let's find out. Let's quickly find out why. And basically the reason is gadgets are not related to notifications. So, for B, if users can't see issues because of security levels, they won't get notifications on those issues that they don't see. So, in essence, notifications are impacted by security levels. C, if users cannot see issues due to not that gatekeeper. I always call the browse projects permission the gatekeeper. Something to know about as far as project permissions go, because every other permission in a project comes off of browse projects. If you do not have browse projects, you can't do anything else in that project, and thus you will not be notified about any of those issues in that project. And finally, for D, custom events, post functions can fire custom events, and those custom events can be configured through notification schemes. So, and a little bit of a clarification by gadgets. We were talking about dashboard gadgets. So,
okay.
All right.
We have what, 3 left?
3 left.
15 of 17 and all the way up to 82 already. Yes.
Time to hunker down. All right, and here we go.
You received requirements for both a team managed and a company managed project. Which requirement is satisfied only with a company managed project? Restrict who can answer. A. Restrict who can transition issues. B. Connect the project to Bitbucket. C. Display subtasks on a board. D. Add a custom notification event. So what is satisfied only with a company managed project? And I know a couple of folks who would never ever use a team managed project. So
I know a couple of folks who would never touch a team managed project.
Robert, we're glad you could join us while you could. I appreciate you showing up.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, Jimmy is one of them, as we found out on the Jira Life yesterday. Oh, Alex is another one.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, correct answer was D. Add a custom notification event. So a pretty even spread here. Let's see why it's D and not.
Let's see why it is D.
So A, incorrect. Both these types of projects can restrict who can use a particular transition. In company managed projects, this is through a condition. On the team managed side, it's a workflow rule. So both of them can do that. B, team managed and company managed can tie into Bitbucket. So they both have that ability. C, both projects can include subtasks on a board. So again, similarities between them. But the big difference, and that's why D is correct, custom notification events are only available on the company managed side of the house.
Yep. Not a lot of love for team managed projects, but I think that it is an important facet to know. Even if you never use it, if you take the certification exam, certification exams are really more the art of the possible. Just what is in Jira that can help out in any particular situation, what features are available. And even if you never will touch a team managed project, you have to be cognizant of it. So,
and I will personally go out on a limb and say I have found use cases for them that teams appreciate. So
yeah,
I understand the limitations, however.
All right. We're getting down to the wire. So next to last question.
76.
We're going to hit 80?
Oh, I hope so, Bob.
I don't know. That might be about it. All right. Up 79. Almost 80.
Pretty good.
Rufus is not able to log time on a bug in a team managed project. Identify a possible reason why. A, he lacks the work on issues project permission. B, time tracking is disabled in Jira. C, the time tracking field is missing on the issue type. D, he already logged work on this issue.
Tying back, Bob, anytime I think of time tracking, I always think of the human element. Just convincing Rufus to actually go do it would be my E.
He's not able to log time on the bug because he's refusing to log time on the bug.
It's not a systems problem. Scars, I'll assume that laughing face was for my comment, not what's going on between Rodney and Joanna here.
Andy is piping up from Colorado with he's already in the future. Okay, so our correct answer is not A. It's actually C. The time tracking field is missing on the issue type. So let's find out why. All right. So this is where the spending too much time on company managed projects gets you in trouble when the question is about team managed projects, because work on issues, that project permission only exists in company managed projects. And B is incorrect because time tracking is always enabled in Jira Cloud projects. So our answer is C. Time tracking field has to be on that bug issue type. And then D, assuming we have that time tracking field, you can update time spent as many times as you want on that same issue. Dresco might have a good answer for E. He doesn't remember his password. And then the Jira guy says that Rufus has ADHD and is distracted by another project. And Kathleen is just saying that Rufus is a company managed project snob and refuses to interact with a team managed project.
I'm thinking, Bob, we need to gather all of these optional answers and make a whole quiz that is just the optional answers.
I think there's legs on that idea. Sajit, if you're listening, that might be something that you might want to follow through on.
I'll get my top people on it.
Hopefully that's not me.
Yeah.
All right. Last chance.
Right, team, we made it. There's 70
last
plus
chance, last chance.
17-17.
All right. And here we go.
Rodney, you are our top people. You just archived version 1.0 in a particular Jira project. Which of the following statements is true? 1A, 1.0 is removed from the release hub. B, 1.0 can be unarchived in the project. C, unresolved 1.0 issues are automatically closed. D, unresolved 1.0 issues are automatically moved to another version. So which statement is true?
So yeah, we are talking about Jira software and versions and releases.
I gotta say, Bob, as I was saying that, should I have been saying 1.0?
I've always just moved it to dot. The dot just kind of dot definitely keeps the rhythm.
Okay. Oof. Glad I got that one right by sheer luck. Okay, team, 6 seconds left in this quiz. Correct answer was B, which most of us got, but a couple others answered differently. So let's take a look at why.
Here we go.
Our reasoning, answer A, archived versions remain visible in the release hub. So they don't vanish. We can still go look at them in the hub. B is correct. If you archive it, you can unarchive it. Answer C, issues won't be automatically closed during the process of archival. So that issue will stick around and not be closed. And D, issues aren't automatically moved around between versions. It's dissimilar to a sprint where you can just shove them all forward. I thought, ooh, Arlene, I'm sorry.
We are sorry, Arlene. Yeah.
And that's a good reminder for me when I'm on those exams. Like sometimes the first thing we think is correct, and I've always been taught about exams like leave it and then come back later and reread and double check.
I've always been taught that your first impression, you're usually right about 2/3 of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that's, again, this is a quiz show, so it's a little bit different than having time to sit down and think. So
that's true.
yeah,
That's true. On a real certification exam, you have plenty of time to do that, and that's why you can flag questions.
oh, thank you, Joanna.
Yeah.
Although I find myself flagging, 3/4 of the questions, so I have to go back and do them all again anyway. So.
I don't. If I'm 100% sure, I don't flag that question. It's only the ones I'm unsure of. All right, so that was it. Those of you that are still here, how'd it go? What do you think?
I know I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Should we have a drum roll? Okay. Sounds good.
Ooh, wow.
Wow. Look at that. Congratulations, Hans P. You are our champion of this edition of Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin?
Awesome. Yeah, congrats, Hans.
Hans Polder. Congratulations, sir. And we will be picking up all of the information and putting it on the online community. We're going to show some congratulations on the screen.
Woo!
Hans is smarter than a Jira admin. 3 people smarter than the Jira guy. So we will publish these results, and so top 10 get that digital badge, name in the honor roll in the online community, as well as that free certification voucher from Atlassian University. And then the top 3, Hans gets our $100 gift card from the Atlassian community. And second place gets $50. Third place gets $25.
Amazing. And thank you all for sticking around. I know it's an hour out of our days. So, I appreciate everyone coming into this, and, Bob and Sajid for including me, letting me have a bit of fun.
Yep. Thank you to Sajid for starting out this format and letting us kind of come in here and kind of take it over. But the love continues on. Oh, one final survey that you get to do is what your goal was to. Oh, there we go. And as Chris says, don't forget to claim this as continuing education credit for renewing your certs. You can use your original, your RSVP for when you registered for this event.
Mm-hmm. And I believe that's done through the Cert Metrics portal.
That is, you submit all of that proof on that Cert Metrics portal. Yes. All right. Okay, so let's talk about. Oh, support us by subscribing to the YouTube channel. I think that is the last slide. And I'm not sure if this will show next month. I think, oh, yeah, there we go. Next month, we will hand over the reins to Andy's. So not only online Andy Gladstone, but also Fun Man Andy Barker. They will be hosting on September 20th. Are you smarter than a Confluence admin?
I am not, Bob.
So I think that's going to be you should join, Rob, just to.
I certainly will. I'm curious to see what they come up with.
Okay.
I think the plural of Andy is and I, by the way.
And eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with that, we are. We're done.
All right. Well, thanks y'all again. I know I had fun early in the morning for me.
Yep.
And wherever y'all are, thank you for taking time out of your evening, afternoon, daytime, midnight. If you're on a sailboat in the South Pacific, be safe.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next month.
See y'all.